Hi guys, welcome back to the Monder Mix. So this week I wanted to speak to you about a festival that not many people that I've spoken to know about, and it's called Radar Fest. So Radar Fest is situated in Manchester, not very far away from Old Trafford, so it's very easy to get to by trams, buses, taxis. You could walk if you wanted, but very easy to get to from the city centre. So I've seen Radar Fest come up, maybe last year was my first year if I'm honest, because a few friends had went, and it didn't look like the festival for me, and that's not a dig on anyone who goes or any of the music. It's just like I was doing slam dunk, download, trees, whatever, but I wouldn't have put this as my one festival of the year. Radar Fest's website even says that they celebrate the spirit of progressive music and community, and for me, I always assumed, and this is my bad, that was progressive metal and community. And after seeing some of the acts and bands that I'd seen over the few days that I was there, it's definitely progressive music, not just progressive metal. There was a lot of that going on, but I'll get to that. In 2022, Radar Fest actually won an award for Best New Festival, which is pretty damn impressive for the amount of festivals that's been popping up over the past 5 years to be winning something of that prestigeness, to be honest. So full disclosure, I didn't go on the Friday because I had already had tickets to go to a comedy gig, so I can't give you any advice or anything on that, so we're just going to jump straight to the Saturday, so apologies. So on the Saturday I was working until late afternoon, so as soon as I finished work we went over. We wanted to get in and kind of scout the place out first, but when we got in, the first band that we wanted to see was on, and that was Heart of a Coward. Now, I'd seen them come up my Spotify a lot and listened to the odd song or like the start of something and skipped it and whatever, and I thought this is probably the best setting to actually find new bands, see what they're about, all that there. So we stayed for the start of it, and it was insane, very heavy. They got the crowd going. It was, I don't know, maybe 4 o'clock on a Saturday, and to have a pit going, I was insane. It was brilliant, especially in Victoria Warehouse as well, which is normally where you would see like Funeral for a Friend or Simple Plan, so like a late night gig. So they were brilliant. I'll put some footage in here. So after that, we wanted to see where the second stage was, because in my head, Victoria Warehouse is just one big stage, a couple of bars, some toilets, cloakroom, whatever. So we went and looked, and it just looked like the second stage was like shoehorned to the back of the arena, which it was, but it looked a bit odd, but I wasn't going to judge it until I seen an actual act or band on. So we went and we had a wander about, so we went to see the merch stand, and the merch was awesome. So the Radar had the best merch I've seen of any festival this year, and I've bought tops and t-shirts and hoodies and all sorts from like download trays, everything, but this was awesome. Like, this was one of the tops, and it was also very reasonably affordable. So like normally you're expecting £35 a top, which this was £22.50. They had all the sizes, they had plenty of different colours, they had pinks, blues, purples, yellows, everything. Like black t-shirts as an obvious one, but they had them as well. But to have them at such an affordable price was pretty damn impressive, so big ups to them. That was awesome. After being at the merch stall, I kind of just looked at the top, and I noticed that it looked like there was 3 stages at the festival. And I was like, there's no way there could be 3 stages here, like it's too small. And I looked a bit more into it, and what they actually offer on like the third part is a prog masterclass. So that's additional. I think it was a tenner, and you might have needed to book your spot, or the tenner might have booked it. I'm not sure, we didn't rock up early enough. But it was situated in like a maker's market kind of style place, and it was upstairs in Victoria Warehouse. And it was awesome. So instead of selling like bits and bobs and trinkets and stuff, it actually had like Neural DSP was there, Like there was different guitar brands. There was like Scan was there selling guitars. They were selling computer bits. They had a vocal booth where they had a competition where whoever could scream the loudest won prizes, and they had like a claw machine. It was all really cool for like for any festival, to be honest. It was awesome. So we had a lot of fun there. And there was also like a MIDI drum kit that you could use to trigger Super Mario, and every time you did a hit, one would walk or run and jump and stuff like that. And like I was absolutely atrocious at it. But yeah, I got a picture of it. Here it is. So that was a lot of fun. So after that, we went down. We were like, let's go see who's about now. And the next band was a band called Car Bomb. So for me, I've seen the name on posters, and to be fair, I've seen them on heavy posters, so I didn't know what to expect. So went down, and they were very heavy. So we, not to judge, went down, stayed for about 3 songs. They were really good for what we had heard, but they were just too heavy for me, probably at that time of day, or could have been because I was working in the morning, I don't know. But they were very good. I'm glad I checked them out, and I will check them out again, but I just needed to get maybe like a drink, or we went and got some food. I can't remember what we did, but we left for them. But that was really cool. So we just kind of like milled about and seen what else was going on, and just waited for the next band to be on. If my memory serves me correct, I think the next band was The Fall of Troy, and me and my mates, to be honest, we only really knew them from that one song from Guitar Hero, so we went down just to check them out to see what they were like. They were awesome. Like, they were very good. There was maybe one or two that I'd probably recognise at a push, but like when they played the Guitar Hero song, I'll put the name in there, it's just a lot of letters that I can't remember, so I apologise. The place went mental, and that was on the second stage, and that was a very telling sign that like they'd actually thought about the way to lay out the festival, because the main stage wasn't playing anything at the same time, which we didn't know. We thought maybe because there's only a certain amount of bands on that they would be battering through, but no. So there was no bleed, you couldn't hear anything, you couldn't hear the bars, you couldn't hear anything. So it was really good. So the second stage was actually brilliant in the end. So yeah, big ups to them for that. After Fall of Troy, we went and seen a band called the Dirty Loops. Never heard of them, never knew what to expect, and it was mental. It was almost like a jazz fusion, progressive ensemble is all I really can say. Like, there was Michael Jackson themes in the vocals, and like, you just need to check them out. But that's when my opinion of the festival changed completely. In my head, it was a progressive metal festival, and seeing that really high up the bill, I thought, right, I'm in the wrong here. This is awesome. So we stayed for them. Everyone was dancing, everyone was having so much fun. It was brilliant. Such a good booking, and to be honest, they should be back again. So the next band was back on the second stage, so we were fairly far back for this because there was actually a very good turnout for this band, and the band was Conjurer, we're not sure, so someone tell us. And they were a very good band, very tight, very good musicians. At this point, we were kind of like having some food and some drinks at the back and having catch up and stuff like that. And then there was a guy just behind us fighting a pole, so I'll put some footage into that, because that was just insane. That was probably one of the weirdest things I've seen of a festival this year, so check that out. So they were great. That was just a fun experience being with my mates. So after that was back to the main stage for Tesseract, and Tesseract were class. We only stayed for about half it because I was back in work at 7 o'clock in the morning, but what we seen was brilliant. We even went up to the balcony to look down to see how busy it was, and we've not really talked about that, but like, the festival didn't seem that it sold out, put it like that. But for bands like Tesseract, it did feel like there was a really good turnout. Like, it did feel like everyone was there for the last bands, which is cool. But being someone who's been to sold out gigs in Victoria Warehouse, I can easily say that wasn't a full house. So after that, we went home. Really enjoyed the first day for us, second day for most people. So that was the Saturday. Same again on Sunday. So I didn't get to catch all of the day, but what I caught was awesome, and I knew that the band that I wanted to see, Holding Absence, were going to be one of the highlights for me, and they were. What I wanted to speak about was there was a band that was meant to play called Siamese, and they'd pulled out for some reason, I'm not sure why, but instead was a band called Pint Glass, and I'd never heard of them, but some of my friends had told me that they call themselves like geezer core, and I didn't have a clue how to take that. So it was basically a load of musicians walking out on stage, a load of lads, but they were wearing like track bottoms, masks for some of them, and just high-vis jackets, and I just didn't know how to take it. I was like, what is going on? And they were very heavy, so I was very conflicted watching it. Half of it was like, this is insane, and the other half was like, they're very good, like they're very tight. They were very good interacting with the fans. They were very interacting with people who'd never heard them before. Like they were talking to people on stage. Just everything was great. And then halfway through it, like I think they brought a couple of singers out to sing with them. I'm not sure, but at one point they brought one out, and I looked up and it was my friend Ollie, and Ollie sings for Forager, and I think they did the pre-party on the Friday. And I went down and that was really good. That kind of made my day, seeing him, and got to say hello to him and stuff. So that was brilliant. That was great. Then we went up to the Makers Market after Pint Glass had finished to see what was going on, and maybe to have a go on some of the guitars and play some of the amps and stuff like that. And I got to play my first 7-string guitar in my life. I've been playing 6 strings for 15, 16, 17 years, and that 1 string just threw me, but it was so fun. And the guys who were letting me play were really nice. They were very knowledgeable. There was some awesome guitars, all handcrafted guitars. The brand that I played was Aviator Guitars. If I'm incorrect with that, I'll put the name down there, but I'm pretty sure it was. And the guy who was speaking to, he builds them all himself. It was awesome. I'll put a link down to his stuff, because he was so cool, super friendly, and some of the best looking and some of the best playing guitars I've ever played. After that, I played on like a little amp, and I wanted to see more about the amp, so I spoke to some guys who run the actual stall for the amp, and again, friendly people, very nice atmosphere at the booth. If you want to play it, you can. If you want to talk about it, you can. It was awesome. I didn't feel any pressure of, oh, here's this stuff, you need a bat, or don't touch that, or whatever. It was very community based, very community driven, and it was lovely. It was brilliant. After that was the band that I really wanted to see, because we'd only seen 2 or 3 songs at 2000 Trees, and that is Blood Command. And Blood Command were fantastic. Like, to be honest, I've not had a bad word to say about any of the bands that I've seen this over the weekend, and that's not just a kind of like, let's make everyone happy here. I'm just being honest. Everyone was so tight. Like, I don't know really how to explain that, but Blood Command were fantastic from start to finish. They were on the second stage, and it was just carnage down the front. People were like dancing, there was a little pit, everything was awesome. Brilliant live show, and I would go see them again in a heartbeat. And they were probably one of the band I would recommend the most to people who would be, name me a band from here that you'd never really listened to before that you'd tell me to go to see, and it's Blood Command. And then after that was Holding Absence, and I'd listened to Holding Absence for a few months now, if I'm honest, like, and I'd seen Lucas sing with Funeral for a Friend twice, but I'd never seen Holding Absence, so I thought I kind of need to see this. And by far the best band I've seen live in about, I don't know, a while. I think maybe it was a mixture of going into it knowing all the songs and never seeing them live, or not just that, but the atmosphere. Like, everyone in the crowd was singing. It wasn't really, oh, we're here to discover Holding Absence, where we were stood. Everyone was singing to the point where you couldn't really hear them, like, and the sound was good in there. They were very, very good, very tight, and I would 100% go see them again. They were fantastic. And then after that, we just went home because I was working again at 7 o'clock in the morning. But as we were leaving, like, there was a lot of the people from the stalls outside, and they'd recognised us, like, not through the challenge, just recognised us from being in there, and they were like asking, did we have a good time, and what did we think of this, that, and the other. And I really it really cemented home the community element of the festival. So I really want to say big ups to them for that, because if they're doing it again next year, which I really hope they do, they will have a loyal following. I probably will put it on my list of bands or festivals to go to, regardless of what band plays. Looking at the festival lineups from this year and last year, if I'm being objective, possibly last year's was better with Sleep Token. But that being said, I wasn't there, so I'm only saying and documenting my experience, and I found a good few bands, at least 6, that I'd listen to again, on the regular. So I'm taking that as a big win. So yeah, that was Radar Fest. Again, very small festival that if you're into progressive music, please check it out. Check out the lineup from this year, because it could be a good indication of who's playing next year, because there was a lot of recurring bands like Car Bomb. Dirty Loops have played it before, and it's only been on 3 or 4 times now, so check it out. I'd love to hear in the comments if this is the type of festival that you would think about going to, or is this something that you would just avoid completely. But thanks very much for watching, and we will see you again.